Lama Tangkumpo Jitsun Jampe Yana Chatselo Gangi Lotu Chimni Jinjan Nitare Namda Rabzal Yine Dunga Yishiri Siji Ki Tuha Lebam Zit Ande Zipe Zunder Mari Muntom Dunga Yisirwe Rozo Kula Buji Tarze Yela Duju Yanden So Rutar Shedro Nyamu Nilo Leki Chadro Rozechi Mari Munse Dunga Nyuku Jinye Cheze Radina Dune Dajin Saju Tarzun Yunten Luzu Yaze Tuweku Chuda Chuda Chuni Chenche Dalu Munze Jabe Yang La Du Omara Pasana Omara Pasana Omara Pasana Omara Pasana di Tede Jeki Jenrab Sergi Dalu Timu Mubarab Sal Kanhan Tenju Yunlu Topai Lodu Popen Wata Du So Kanze Taware Du Pam Chunze Diware Du Nayam Ompo Jamya Jeni Di Keme Parayang Tongwar Shu. All right. So last class we reached to here. Maybe you wanna start Zend maybe from here?
동니 유단 텐단 체다니 함제 레부 트릴레테 라메 장주 지동주 로덴 남기 셰파자 that until there
Yeah. And
okay
yeah. And this yeah, Shepate, actually. Because at the end that is a
oh
quotation. So this is marking that
셰파테
quotation.
okay I need to get a call
Uh-huh.
yeah so maybe Kip can help me
Yeah, so it's very helpful that Zand actually did the pronunciation. So the so with that first clause, I actually struggled with that. So this one I credit Monlam. So that first piece is, I think, the summary verses are,
Mhm. Yeah.
and then I've got causes, basis, and conditions,
Uh-huh.
and then method, result, and action.
Uh-huh.
Then the six general summaries of unsurpassable enlightenment.
Uh-huh.
Then and then I've got discerning people should understand this. This is the meaning.
Okay. Yeah, that's generally that's okay. I would say because this is the like the table of contents kind of the text.
Ah,
So I would say just singular. So the cause is the first chapter. The second chapter is the basis. The third chapter is the condition. So basically, he's making a list of all the things we need to become enlightened, or the aspects.
I see.
The method is the fourth, then the result. And for Chinle, you said action, I think, but Chinle actually means the activity of the Buddhas. Is a high level. It's a high level word. Le, it's by itself would be action, but Chinle always means the activity of the Buddhas.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, your translation is not incorrect, but just based on the context, that's what it would be. But everything else is good. Loden. How do you translate Loden?
Um, discerning people should understand this.
Yeah, that's good. Discerning people. Lo is a type of mind, right?
Yeah.
Loden. Yeah, intelligent people. Intelligent, wise, intelligent, something like that is good. Discerning is good also. Sheparja, Shepate. Shepate is the end of this quotation. So basically, Gampopa is giving us a list of the 6 parts he's going to elaborate on from now on.
Oh,
Yeah. He's going to talk about these 6 points, and then each point will be a chapter, actually. So now, is that clear?
yes, that is clear.
Okay. You want to take it next, Federico?
Okay, let me try. This time I haven't had time too much, so I have very rough form of things. So, okay, let me try.
Mhm.
Lame ki chang chup de q dank de trup be tem ki gang seg tang.
Gangsak.
Gansak
Mhm.
tang te drupa la ku pe dren tang te drup pe tap tang, and then the end comes soon.
Mhm.
Tajap pe pe che u tang de drup ne sang que qui
No, you're
then
good.
le
Chinle,
no,
the same word, Chinle.
yeah chenle nam she ko pay. So maybe I should stop here, right?
Yeah.
Or
Yeah,
okay.
until here is good.
So let me go back because I have some long stuff. So I'll try. I start with the attempt for an overall translation, although it's very approximate. The cause of that unsurpassable enlightenment.
Yep.
And now I have being as a support for accomplishing that, but something is wrong with the thing that I refer to as being.
For Gangsak, you mean?
Gangzak.
So basically, Well, first I want to point out that what is happening here is that Gampopa now is elaborating on each one of the 6 points.
Mm-hmm.
He's telling us what each point is now.
Mm-hmm.
So he says the cause, the basis, the condition, and then now he's elaborating a little bit more. So now the cause,
Mm-hmm.
he's gonna the cause of unsurpassed enlightenment. That's
Yeah.
gonna be the first. So this is the first idea.
Mm-hmm.
Then the basis.
Yeah.
They
And yeah.
They
And
took
what do you
this.
think is a gangzang?
Oh, Gangsak
A
is
being or a person or something else?
the person, but
Okay.
here I think if you say the individual, it sounds nice.
Okay. So the individual as a support for accomplishing that, the conditions, and so it's like a list, as you said, the conditions that urge one towards accomplishing that, and the methods for accomplishing that, and then the result of accomplishing that. And after accomplishing that, it is necessary to know the enlightened activity of a Buddha. Something like this.
Yeah, but actually, in this case, that which we need to know,
Yeah.
this Shego Pao, this applies to every single one of them, not just to the last one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, remember
No,
that.
so
uh,
I have the ge pao as necessary, must. So
yeah,
which one has to understand somehow.
yeah, exactly. So these are
The
the things. Yeah, the 6 things we need to understand.
Oh, okay, it applies to all the 6.
Exactly.
Okay, got it. Yeah, okay, thank you.
So this num, it applies to each one of the 6 nominal groups.
The plural marker.
Yeah, exactly. Even the plural marker also applies to all of them.
Okay. So then, more or less, it's it becomes clear to me, I guess, at this point. With your comments, yeah. I somehow missed that this broader connection that he says 6, and then those are the 6 we are going through.
Yes.
Okay.
So as far as Gangsak is what is Gangsak in Sanskrit? Is it Purush?
Oh, Purusha. Yeah.
Let me double check, okay?
Yeah, Purusha could mean a person. It could mean sort of the soul.
I'm sorry, it's not Purusha, it's Pudgala.
Oh, okay.
Pudgala, which means the individual.
Yeah.
So Buddhism denies selfness, Atman, but they accept the existence of a person, of the Gangsak.
Okay.
Just so you know, this Gangsak is a good word to know.
So it's frequent, you say. Okay.
Yeah, and also it's important to understand because some people misunderstand the notion of no self in Dharma and Atman.
Yes.
So that's why Buddhism does not deny the existence of persons.
Yeah. So there's indeed no contradiction. It's sort of the personality. Of course, you have some unique characteristics. It's an obvious empirical fact. It doesn't contradict the no selfness.
Exactly. So that's it's good to know this word from that perspective. But yep, that's good. Okay, are you ready? Keep.
Yes. So we ended with the after accomplishing that, is it necessary to understand the deeds of the Buddha? Is that where we ended?
Yes, up until here.
Okay.
I'll help you pronounce, okay, to practice a little bit.
Okay. So that's
let's say it. Let's take it until the end, and let's kind of do it together if we can. So Just repeat.
Right.
You can repeat after me. Or you can repeat after me. Dedak rimpar tenpa ni
De data
rimpar
rimpa
rimpar with this R in the
rimpar
tenpa ni
nipani
tenpa
tempani
ni Juni
juni
deshik
deshik
nimpote.
nimpote.
This is the correct spelling, by the way. That was mistaken here.
Yes.
Deshik nimpo. Here is how it should
Ah,
be spelled. Yeah.
ah,
Deshik
okay.
nimpote. Teni.
Huh.
I'm sorry.
Teni.
Tedi
Teni.
ten
Uh,
teni.
try to also look at the words. We'll do it slowly, but also look at the words. This is the na, right? Teni. Milu.
Milieu
Rinchen.
Rijen
Rinchen chok.
Rinchen Chok
Kieni.
Geni
Gewe shenyen.
Gewe Shenen
Yin.
Yin
Hapni.
Amni
Dei.
Dei
Damgak. Te.
Damkuk Ne
Te. This one.
Te.
Dei
Drebu.
Debu
Dzog Sanje.
Zog Chanse
Sangye.
Sangye
Yeah, Sanje is Buddha. Sanje. Kiku.
Giku
Chinle.
Chinle
Tokme.
Tokme.
Jodun Zu.
Can you say that again, please?
Jodun Zu.
Drojen Se
I'm sorry, Jodun Ze. Right. Ze.
Say
Yeah, Jodun Ze. I messed up. I thought there was an arrow. Chepa.
Chepa
Namien.
Namien
No.
Do
Tenam Ki.
Denam Ki
Ni.
Ni
Lu Namshak.
New Lu Nomchok
Tenpa Sami No.
Tempa Sap Sap Ye
Ah.
no
Yeah, Sami No.
Some.
Som
Sami. Okay. So now Gabopa is gonna further elaborate onto each one of the 6 points.
Mhm.
So I begin. So for that first one, then I've got those are taught in order, but then those is referring to what came before. So an alternative would that be that the deeds of the Buddha are taught in order.
Yeah, I would say rather than in order, it means gradually.
Mhm, mhm. Yeah.
Yeah. Like there will be
Okay.
like lam rim stages of the path, or in stages you can
Mhm.
say also.
Step by step, maybe.
Yeah,
I
step
have
by step. Yeah.
also, yeah.
Yeah, that's good also. Gradually, step by step. They will present it like in order also works, I guess, but
Yeah. Sequentially is possible, I guess.
sequentially also is good. Yeah.
Okay.
Rimpa.
Then I've got the cause of Buddha nature.
Uh, the cause is Buddha nature.
Is
Yeah, the cause which is
Mhm.
Buddha nature. Also, I wanted to talk about this Deshek Nimbo because to be honest, Buddha nature would be it would like literal would be Sanje Kingo or Sanje Kinjingo or Sanje Gangshin actually would be that if we were to say Buddha nature. Uh, this is the Sanskrit is Sugata.
Tathagata. Tathagata.
No, actually, Tathagata is Deshin Shakpe.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Deshin Shakpe Nyingpo. or Deshek Nimpo. De without this, if it was just this, de is Tathagata. Deshek
Mhm.
Nimpo. Or
Mhm.
Deshin, like that. Deshin,
Mhm.
Shekpe Nimpo. Shek means to go or to come, is an honorific.
Mhm.
Like in the 7-line prayer for Guru Rinpoche, we say, Orjan Yujin Jan Pema Gesardon Pola Yam Sen
Mhm.
Chikin Gundum de Pema Junesh Sutra Kordu Kandroma Perker Chiki Jesu Tatuchi Jinji Lapshir Shek Susol Jinji Lapshir Shek is the same Shek Jinji Lapshir to give us blessings Shek Susol, we pray you come to give your blessing. So this Shek is it isn't clear whether it's going or coming. In colloquial Tibetan, we would say pep. Maybe you guys have
Mhm.
learned that word. The lama pep.
Yeah, yeah.
Lama pep.
Mhm. Mhm.
It means it can mean to go or to come.
Mhm. Yeah.
So this is the
The Tathagata means the one who has gone.
exactly the dust gone.
Yeah, does gone or
Yeah,
something. Yeah.
something like that. So
Yeah.
the shek is that gata.
Mhm.
Like in the
Okay.
mantra of the Heart Sutra, we say gate gate para gate
Paragate, yeah. Beyond. Yeah.
para samgate.
Yeah.
Is that gate? But
I love
that's
this.
yeah. So because the Buddha has gone,
Yeah.
thus gone, like he's gone beyond sort of.
Yeah. This is one of my favorite citations.
So
Well, because it's anyway,
uh-huh.
it's cool. It's simply cool.
It's cool.
So this day is actually deshek because this day is bliss. This is actually sugata in Sanskrit.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
One
Like
who has attained bliss. Yes,
exactly the
Sugata.
one
Yeah,
who's gone to bliss.
Sugata. Yeah, who has gone to bliss. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's a combination of those two.
Yeah. So this is deshek. This
Okay,
is sugata.
beautiful.
This is sugata.
Beautiful.
I mean, in essence, they're just epithets of the Buddha. They're
Yeah,
two
yeah,
different names of the Buddha.
yeah,
And they're kind of used interchangeable as far as I know. There is no meaning.
yeah.
And then Nimpo is this is kind of unusual. The Tibetans didn't really keep that's Garbha in Sanskrit.
Garba is the heart. Yeah, as
Garbha is
essence.
what I understand is
Womb.
womb. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So it's referred to sometimes to the heart or essence or core, but yeah, it's womb. The original meaning is womb.
Yeah. And so
But it's so beautiful to know
Huh?
Tibetan, because I mean you can translate all this stuff, but it's not the same.
Yeah,
And with
exactly.
your commentary, it's really great.
But even then, like the Tibetans, this doesn't really mean womb in Tibetan. It means heart or essence.
Yeah, well, in Sanskrit they also refer to it in this sense, womb in the sense of metaphor of the source of origin.
Yeah, that's probably why the Tibetans chose to
Yeah.
use this Nimbo. But basically, I just want to point out that this doesn't really mean exactly Buddha nature, but this is the standard translation, is Buddha nature, because it's a big, it cannot be translated into English.
Yeah. I very much appreciate your comments on this. It's so beautiful.
Yeah. So this is the essence of, and also, by the way, this is a contraction. The long form is Dewar Shekpe Nyingpo. Versus or Deshin Shekpe Nyingpo. They put Deshek. It's a contraction of that.
Interesting.
I see this habit in Tibetan. You have, say, two double syllable things. When they contract, they take just the first syllables of each.
Exactly.
Right? Something like this.
Exactly. So this is you might see this as let me I'll type it here actually because
Yeah.
it might be useful to know. For example, uh, uh, this would be the oops, I missed that one. So this would be the full spelling. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm not sharing my screen. 1 second.
Oh,
I thought I was sorry. I
I
thought I
was
had shared
looking
the
at the
screen.
chat.
Yeah.
Huh.
This is a
Uh,
full form. The
Let me do
watershed painting book.
a screenshot quickly.
Oh, I see.
Good.
So they dropped these second and fourth syllables. They just
Yeah.
kept the Shignipo. And here they're translated as the matrix of one gone to bliss.
Huh. Interesting.
Buddha nature.
Sugata
Yeah.
Garba.
Yeah, Sugata Garbha. Sugata enlightened essence.
Yeah.
But Buddha nature is the most common translation. And the other one is just Deshik. Yeah, so this is Tathagata. Deshik. But the full form would be, I see, like
Yeah.
This is a full form, Deshi Shekpa
Oh, interesting.
of Tathagata. And then if you go Jingpo, then this is the Tathagata Garbha. Okay, just so you guys know, you will see this Deshik Jingpo or Deshi Shekpe Jingpo is the same thing.
That's really complex.
Yes. So this comes a lot in the text, and it's very important to understand this concept. And Kampopa is presenting this as the cause, the main cause for us to attain enlightenment. If there's no Deshe Gimpo, if there's no Buddha nature, there's no cause for anything, you know. The rest are conditions that we need, but the main cause is the fact that we have Buddha nature.
In the last this dictionary entry, I don't know whether you noticed in the second, there's Hopkins and there's Rangjung Geshe, and they are different. So at the end, there's essence of attaining experience of suchness. By the way, I love the word suchness.
Suchness,
but essence for attaining experience of suchness. Yeah, so it's interesting.
Yeah. Tata is suchness, I guess, by itself.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Tata.
Yeah.
So the main text that explains Buddha nature is called the Uttara Shastra Tantra. Is one of the five texts of Maitreya.
I have it.
Then this is the main text to learn about Buddha nature. Okay, so I just wanted to mention that because that's important to know.
Yep. Thank you. That's really good to know.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Now you can continue, Keep. Next one.
Yeah, so hold on a second. So this is the okay, the
So now we know that the cause is Buddha nature.
Oh, so once again, we go through the list.
Yeah.
Okay,
the first one. The cause is Tathagata Garbha.
Oh,
I'm
yes,
sorry,
okay.
Sugata Garbha.
And the first, oh, actually, I want to make sure if I've gotten this confused. Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. Oh, the basis is the supreme jewel of the human body.
Yeah.
The support, maybe.
Yeah, support. The basis of
Okay.
support.
Oh,
Support
okay. Yeah.
and is Rinchen also can mean precious or supreme precious. Yeah. Rinchen Milo Rinpoche. Rinchen can also just mean a precious human body, like Rinpoche also. I would say the support is the supreme and precious human body, I would say.
Yeah, I have it like the support is the precious human body, indeed. Yeah.
Okay.
At least that this somehow popped up from the numerous texts, almost like the standard terminology, you know.
Yeah, these are the standard terminology. This is in the first contemplation on the four thoughts for the Monjo.
Exactly.
Yeah. Good. Next
And
one.
then I've got the opportunity or condition is a spiritual teacher.
Yeah. This is Kalayana Mitra in Sanskrit.
Yeah. Kalayana Mitra is a friend. By the way, Mitra is a friend. So maybe it's a spiritual friend. I don't know.
Yeah, the traditional translation is, by the way, this is the standard translation of Kien is condition. They will say Dakien. I'm sorry, Dukien, the causes and conditions. Right. Is you can say spiritual friend. By the way, the word geshe comes from here. Gewe Shinyin. Geshe, the Gelupa geshes.
Virtuous.
They're a virtuous friend, right? They keep the first and third syllable. There's a contraction of Gewe Shinyin. So the condition is the spiritual friend or the Kalayana Mitra if you want to use the Sanskrit. Good. And next one.
Then I've got skillful means, or if we're going to use method to harken back with what we said at the beginning, methods are the oral instructions for this, or I guess maybe it would be the oral instructions are the method for this.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And then the next.
Then the next I've got the result is the body of a perfect Buddha.
Yes. And this ku, I don't know. I'm leaning now towards using Sanskrit because the kaya is this means the Dharmakaya, Sambhogakaya, Nirmanakaya. Sometimes I feel like if we translate body in English, it gives a sense that your physical body will.
Right.
When this ku means the kaya, the different kayas that the Buddha attains, just so you know, but it's not incorrect. Ku is the honorific word for body, but this is what the meaning is the kayas of the Buddha.
But unfortunately, one can. Sorry.
No, I was going to say thank you.
But unfortunately, in English, it's hard to find an echo. I mean, probably then it's better to say kaya than. Well, in English, you cannot find anything better than body, I'm afraid, or form, maybe. I don't know, but body probably.
Yeah, I guess you can make a compound word like supreme body or the manifest. I don't know. You can make up a complex
something
word.
Yeah. The way Tibetans emulated Sanskrit, right?
Yeah. So my desire here is that we know the meaning because the point is that we cannot translate it.
Yeah, you're right.
At
you're
least
right.
that's how I feel these days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The whole point is not to get to a translation, right?
The whole point is that you know the meaning, and then
Yeah,
you in the future you can understand it. I feel like
yeah, you're
I don't know.
absolutely right.
I'm feeling this way these days, but maybe I'll change my mind tomorrow.
Uh, right.
Okay. Next one.
So the next one, so this I originally had his enlightened activity, but maybe that, or for now, harkening back and calling that actions. Maybe that should be his action is non-conceptual and benefits beings.
I wouldn't say his because we're talking about the that which we all can attain, right?
Mhm.
This is the
So
sixth
the
point, the enlightened activity. I would just say
Mhm. Yeah.
we're making lists, right, of these things that
Mhm.
we ourselves and every being can do, right?
yeah,
You know what I mean? Tokme Jodunse is the doing, they is to do honorific, or of you can say non-conceptual
Mhm.
Tokme, benefit of beings. Your translation is correct, but I just want to say his because then that implies we're talking about a particular
yeah.
Buddha, maybe.
Mhm.
This case is we're just making a list of all the elements needed.
And
One
it
can
was
avoid. Yeah.
no, I'm sorry. Go.
One can avoid it in the following way. These are enlightened activities.
Yeah, you can say it like that. Or the enlightened activities. Uh
Maybe
the
performed without conceptualization or
yeah, exactly. I would
performed.
say I would divide it like this. The enlightened activities, which are the benefit of beings done performed without conceptualization.
Mhm.
This is basically there is a yin, invisible yin here, right?
Yeah.
Between this and this. Because
Uh,
if we look at the structure is okay, the cause is the Shichepen Yimpo, support is the Milo
Mhm.
Rinpoche,
Mhm.
the Kien is the Gewe Shenyen, the Tap is the Tamgak, the Jebu
uh,
is the Sanjegiku, and the Chinle is the Tongme Dredunse.
Mhm.
So it's just telling you now is Gambopa is just telling you, okay, this is that, this is that, that is that, before he expounds on what everything he elaborates on each. So basically, I just want to point out what's happening here is he's saying in brief, we have these six things: Yu, Ten, Tien, Tap, Rebu, and Chile. Then he's expanding on it a little bit. He says, okay, the cause is the cause for enlightenment, etc. And then he expands further, saying the cause is Deshen Yibo, the
Mhm.
basis is the human body, precious human body, etc. Do you guys see the structure?
Yeah. I was
yes.
not seeing the big structure. Yeah.
Yeah,
Somehow with so much zooming in. Yeah. Right.
yeah. So this is very important. Actually, Tibetan texts are very technical in that sense. There is a personally, I think it would be nice to have it listed, right? It makes it so much visually easier to understand. The thing is that in Tibet they didn't have paper. It was very difficult to have paper and ink. Especially imagine like you're a yogi, you're in a cave and like you're composing your text. I mean it's very I think that's why they don't even use spaces, you know?
Yeah.
If you look at a pecha, everything is cramped because there's just no paper, no ink. So you have to just cramp everything and take I think this is my theory.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
this is the same explanation given for Sanskrit text. They are also continuous
Yeah,
and very dense. The
yeah, yeah,
sutras are so dense that you cannot even unpack without the commentaries.
yeah. I think
Hmm.
that's why. But now we have computers, so we could. But anyways, when we read the text, the old text, we have to deal with this anyway. So it's also a way to prepare ourselves. Okay. And then the next one, you can do these 2 lines, keep to finish up.
Yeah, well, just for that first one, so I struggled with this. I mean, for that first segment, and I know we're doing those two together, and I breaking it down, and I know that's perilous. I ended up with quote marker, plural marker, or everything is R, terminating particle. And so for that first piece, I was tempted to say everything is, but then when I put it into Monlam, it said, this is the meaning. And I have no idea how they get this is the meaning out of that. But, um, and then for the last piece, I've got those are these are the approximate principal teachings of the body.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Do you know what's Namshak?
I have that as definition, principle, or presentation.
Yeah.
Maybe display, no?
Yeah.
Manifestation, something like this.
Yeah. That also works. I would usually, I think of it as classification. Let me see in the dictionary.
Oh, classification.
Yeah, presentation, principle, classification,
I see.
Namshak. I would say it's Denamki by Ni. This is the body of the classification of the teaching. I would even ignore. Sometimes you have to ignore words, but basically he's saying this is the main. This is the main classification of the body of the text. It's something like that.
Oh, so this list of things.
Exactly.
Okay.
So he's saying, okay, basically here he's saying this is it, right? Okay, what I said is this. It is what I said, basically, something like that. Is this?
Mhm. So it's sort of the summary he's saying.
Yeah, exactly.
Mhm.
Basically, this is a whole book, the whole
Mhm.
text in the main points of the whole text.
Mhm.
Then Namkini. So as by means of those
Mhm.
is the classification or the presentation of the body of the teachings. Is just the classification of the body of the teaching, something like that.
Yeah, I was also confused by this. In particular, I assumed that there's body of the Buddha, but you're saying the body of the teaching,
The body of the text.
the body of the text. Okay, I was also
That's
confused
why
by this.
I also was
Yeah.
confused myself, to be honest, but that's the
Yeah.
only thing I can make of it.
Mhm.
Because the Namshak is the key here. This is the classification or the presentation, we can say. I
Is
think
it
classification is good.
is it possible that there is sort of a double meaning? One would be what you just said,
Uh-huh.
and it makes total sense to me, but
Uh-huh.
somehow uh,
Sorry, guys.
we just said we just mentioned Buddha and enlightened activities, and before this, there was also the body of a of completely realized Buddha, the Kayas that you mentioned, right? So,
Uh-huh.
is it possible that there's a double meaning, sort of? Let me just I was scrolling back and forth. So is both a classification, a body of the text, but also because the previous sentence was talking about Buddha's enlightened activity and before the kayas. So also it's both the body of the teaching, but also those qualities represent the kayas of those kayas of Buddha, the different nirvana kayas and so on. So maybe both. Is it possible? Like a double meaning, intentional double meaning? No.
I wouldn't say so because Lu is not a ku. Ku is
Oh,
the
okay,
high
okay.
level. Lu is it's
Oh, yeah,
a
yeah. I see.
it's not a shesa. Also,
Okay.
another meaning of Lu, the reason it's called Lu, Lu
Mhm.
actually means a leftover.
Mhm.
So because
Uh,
when we die, we leave our body.
Mhm.
That's why, for example, if you say there is a famous Monlam dedication prayer.
Mhm.
Manlupa de Salago Parsho is Gewati Yutuda Ma Dowa Chichang Malupa. Dowa Chichang Malupa. Dowa is the beings, Chichang, not even one. Dowa Chichang Malupa. Not even one left behind.
Mhm.
You see this a lot in the sometimes in many MOA, in many dedications. Lu Malupa is not left behind. So
Mhm.
Lu also has that meaning,
Mhm.
but in this context, I don't even see that meaning.
No. You're right. It was ku
Yeah,
that you mentioned to be like kaya, and
yeah, this
this
one.
is lu.
Yeah,
So most likely you are right. Yeah, almost certainly.
yeah. I mean, this happens sometimes. We have to be very flexible in
Yeah.
English. It doesn't always work. Actually, hardly ever works. Uh, Lu. I think in the body of the text.
Yeah. Makes sense.
I
Makes
actually
sense.
looked at a translation of the text also in English, and they didn't even translate this. So sometimes, if you're confused, you can look at the translations or that already exist of other texts in the future. You'll see, like a lot of the times, the translators just leave it because if you put everything in there, it doesn't make sense in English.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
yeah, that was where, I mean, I think you said at the very beginning of this construct that you needed to understand the context of the whole piece
yeah,
or a section before you, and so I saw the repeated references to body in here, including in this last sentence, and I thought, oh, well, this is the section dealing with body. And so the next section is going to deal with speech, and then we're going to get mind. And clearly that's wrong. But yeah, I was puzzled by that body in there.
I had the same
yeah,
type of things exactly. So it's yeah, so it's slightly confusing, but it's interesting to somehow try to sort out all those subtleties.
yeah. But you can see here, Denam key is one section. So by those, Denam ki ni is marking the subject. Lu nam shak tenpa. This somehow goes together,
Mm-hmm.
Lu
Yeah.
nam shak. Like it somehow it goes together in the classification of the teaching. You can think of it that way. Okay.
I apologize for further dragging it on, but I just
Uh-huh.
noticed the other well, you said Namshak is classification, but do you also agree that it might be manifestation?
Yeah, it could be. It has
Well,
many meanings
yeah.
actually. It has many meanings. Yeah.
Yeah, but then somehow it's since Skip had the same. Maybe it's so typical if you read it to have that thought that it might be related to the Kayas, right? And if so, then if you take the other interpretation, manifestation of the Kaya, somehow demonstrating the teaching or demonstrating those qualities demonstrate the manifestation of the kayas. So maybe anyway, but we went to the limit of what we can, which is great.
I'll give you another clue, actually.
Yeah.
For example, what you can do here, if you're like a little bit confused, is
Yes.
look for the main word here, which is
Yeah.
shak, actually.
Yes.
Shak
Okay.
is just a shak literally means just to put something, to place something somewhere.
Okay.
Nam is usually goes before words, and it's just a kind of aspect, like for example, Lodok Namji. Like the four thoughts that turn the mind is, or like it goes with list. Nam in itself doesn't really have a meaning, it just emphasizes the previous one.
Yeah. Yeah.
But this shak, the reason is that classification is because it's like a placing, Nam shak. So that's the meaning jog. For example, jogom,
Okay.
you guys know jegom and jogom, analytical and placing meditation is in the same jog. It has that meaning. So with that in mind, you can think of it. Okay, the Namkini, le Namjak, it has this sense of like positioning or classifying, organizing,
Yeah.
something like that.
Almost like a table of content.
Exactly.
Sounds.
Exactly.
Okay. No, your interpretation is certainly the best match. Yeah, certainly the best match.
But I'm saying this in general, if you are always like, for example, you have this Namshak, just look at the
Yeah.
main word and then
Okay.
look at the etymology of that main word, and from there try to get the meaning. That's the way to go. Zoom in,
Okay.
and then this will might help.
And on that, I
Okay,
mean, I
thank
think
you.
this is where our homework ended, but peeking ahead a little bit, this confirms, Kanchak, that your interpretation is correct, because that next piece is chapter 1 or the first chapter. And so what we just read, I think, is the table of contents for the
Right.
summary.
Yeah, exactly.
And so
exactly.
it's not going on to talk about speech and mind. It's
Yeah.
whatever we just went through, it's before
Yeah.
chapter 1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good. Now I'll go. Or actually, since Zand is back, Zand, would you do the first line?
Okay. Liu Dampo, Ju, Deshe, Nimpo, Tempa, Chapter 1, the cause, Buddha nature, the cause
Yeah.
of the Buddha nature.
Yeah, I would say the cause, which is, if I would see this as an apposition, the cause, which is the teaching
Which
on
is
Buddha
Buddha
nature.
nature.
Yeah, the teaching on Buddha nature, right?
Zand,
Yeah.
is it the side reading? You a side reading? Have you prepared it as a homework, or you just see it for the first time?
Because Kumchola did mention it in WhatsApp, our WhatsApp. So yeah, I kind of refer to that. But then anyway, Jew is the cause. Deshin Nimpo already, Kunchola has already explained. Tempa is the teaching. So he did mention the cause of teaching of Buddha nature, right? Yeah.
Yeah. And don't forget there is a typo here. It should be a Gao.
Yeah.
Yeah. It should be like this.
Yes.
Typo.
Yep.
Okay.
Do you think the typo is in the original, or
No, somebody typed this by hand.
Yeah. I
It's a
found
Word
the
file.
text. I found the overall text online. I can send the link to you later.
Yeah, that would be great.
There isn't this line. This line is extra.
Yeah.
Oh, the whole line.
Yeah,
this
this
is just a
chapter
title.
1, this whole line is extra.
Okay,
Yeah, they add this for the sake of the students.
okay.
That's why I was a bit lost when I was referring to the original text and this text.
Okay, San, will you do this one line for us also? Let's see.
Dani yen la ju par che do
Yeah, yeah, para.
ke Dani yan la J, yeah, sa behind. Je pa che do.
Uh-huh.
This one haven't really do it. Wait, let me check my dictionary.
Uh-huh.
Dani is like now. Yen la is. I'm using the THL. last minute doing live.
Uh-huh.
Now Yen la is the branch,
Yeah.
and JPAR is extensively. Che is explained. So
Yeah.
now we'll explain the branches.
This branch.
Okay.
Yeah. So now
Yeah.
I will like extend a little bit more extensively explain this particular
Mhm.
aspect or branch or facet, you know.
Mhm.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
now now the cause, the Shigimpo, will be expounded upon, basically. Is that clear?
Yep.
Yes, very
Yeah.
straightforward, this line.
De la, therefore, Dampo first, the cause, de Shigimpo. De, now it continues. Shepani, if it said, Ona, Korwar Tulpe Rashindi Le Dolne. I think if I explain this now, will be over time. So now
Stop
we
here.
will take it from here, okay?
Okay.
So
For
one
next class.
one thing I wanted to flag is that I flipped back on Monlam AI that if you put in that first sentence with a typo in it, it seemed to spit out the right translation. It seemed to understand that was a typo and read in the
Yeah,
correct spelling.
that's
It was really impressive.
no, but I mean that makes sense because there is no word that has a vowel shek. Like
Yeah.
so
Mhm.
obviously it's like, for example, if I type in Google, I don't know, copper water bottle, but my copper only has one P, Google will recognize it because there's no
Yeah.
word that is copper with one P, or
Mhm. Mhm.
there is no other option, you know.
Yeah.
It makes sense. Whereas if there was another word that, for example, if I'm looking at draw as go or draw as in feather, then like they would get confused.
Mhm. Google
Yeah.
not only will recognize, but even correct you.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Okay, so this is we only have this for the first
Mhm.
chapter. Then it actually will skip to the second chapter.
Okay.
So let's try to get
Mhm.
yeah, just maybe try to prepare for
Mhm.
maybe until here, I guess. Okay.
It's so satisfying to do this. I have no words. If you read the whole thing in English, it's probably less useful than even the little part that we read in Tibetan.
Yeah,
Like the
Right.
impact of it. The impact of
yeah,
it.
yeah, I agree. Actually, one of my teachers, he told me it's so much easier to understand Buddhist philosophy in Tibetan than in English.
Yeah.
Like the language just carries it so nicely, you know.
Yeah.
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 And if you read the same book in English, it's very difficult to understand that. It's like the words don't really express.
Exactly, exactly. If
Yeah.
I could imagine if I read it in English, it will be like, okay, it's over my head. Yeah, somehow it will not have an impact on me.
Yeah,
The way it has an impact now, it's a direct impact.
I agree. I agree. I have the same experience actually. That's why even when I'm explaining things, in Buddhistic, I tend to use the Tibetan terms or even Sanskrit. I feel like there's a blessing, in those words.
There's a blessing. That's the
Yeah,
right way to put it.
yeah.
Cool.
Okay. So now you know what to do for next class.
For the rest of your life.
Hasta por- hasta por